Okay, everyone, I just wanted to talk you through this lesson. So pretend that I'm at the smartboard in front of you. Okay, so you can just watch this and then click through the Google slide as well as you work at your own pace. So Netiquette, it's online learning etiquette. And what I've found is from interactions with a lot of you guys that some of us don't know necessarily the proper way to do emails and converse online using proper spelling, grammar, punctuation. And of course, your picky English teacher is going to go over this for you so you know how to work through it. So it's an overview of online learning behavior for all subject areas, and this can be used definitely in English. And really my motivation was when some students started to submit like their journal entries and they would write half of a sentence and everything would be lowercase. That was a red flag to me. So I wanted to go over not only, of course, the proper punctuation pieces, but other things you need to know in terms of how to behave online, being respectful, being appropriate as you work through this distance learning with all your subjects. So, netiquette, by definition, etiquette is the customary code of polite behavior in society or among members of a particular profession or group. In cyberspace, netiquette is the acceptable way of communicating and behaving on the internet. So here's just kind of like a silly example showing basically everything you should not do. So just a little meme over there, but it says, "Dear Madam or Sir." So it should say, "Dear Madam or Sir." So obviously they didn't spell check that. Everything's all in caps. When you are in caps, it's like you're being yelled at. So we should not really be doing that, okay? Just even the first word of the email, PLZ. So you want to write out in full words, okay? So no texting abbreviations. And also you want to consider who you're speaking with, okay? And in doing so, using the proper format, punctuation, spelling, grammar, I've opened many emails and I've sometimes wondered, who is this even from? So you need to make sure you also address who you are. Make sure your name is, you sign your name, okay? And have a nice closing. And we'll get into that. So online etiquette, just a couple tips. So this is a really brief list right here, and then it goes into more detail in the next slides. So regardless of the type of communication used, you should always keep in mind the following. Be respectful. Be considerate of others. Think through before responding. Write clearly and concisely. Respond in a timely manner. Use short paragraphs like in replying to emails. Of course, if you're asked to do a longer assignment, the paragraphs would not be so short. And spell check. As shown before, avoid capital letters. They may be used to emphasize, but you should avoid typing in all caps because it is like you're shouting. Also avoid a rambling writing style where you're like, oh, look at this. Oh, there's a bird that flew by. Oh, wait, going back to my question, what was the homework? Oh, but yesterday, you want to get to the point. And screens full of text. So you don't want to just plaster the page. It's like using a highlighter. You should not highlight your whole page yellow. You should pick out the important things and communicate it in that way. So the next few slides, you want to go through and read through these on your own. I only have a short time limit, so I'm not going to read them all, but they just elaborate on those points on the previous screen. So be respectful, be aware of strong language, be careful with humor and sarcasm, and that has to do with knowing your audience, okay? You don't want to be misread and someone you might offend someone even. And then grammar and spelling matter. You are on a device. You have the ability to spell check and grammar check, and you need to keep that in mind. Reread what you write every time aloud to yourself before submitting. Cite your sources. This is for when we're doing, if we were to do a research-based thing. It applies to discussion forums and stuff like that. So this is a higher level thing. We really won't be getting into that yet, I would say, but I don't know how long we'll be doing this online learning. Don't post or share, even privately, inappropriate material. At the start of the year, we all signed a contract for the Chromebooks, and that contract still exists and still is in order. Being respectful and keeping that in mind in everything you do. And then be forgiving. Remember that not everyone will know these rules before posting. So that's why I wanted to go over it with you. And, if you see someone mess up, say, hey, you should do this next. And then here are the videos you need to click on to watch. There's 3 of them. And it's just YouTube videos going over these rules. And then you can compose your first email. Now go to the Google Doc that is attached to this assignment.